What's up everyone, Paul here from the Hoops Crew, and you knew this was coming after the explosive popularity of my last video about the Jimmy Webster bump case. We're here to talk about the outcome, and as many people would recall, I discussed the idea of this being kind of a minimum 4 if the tribunal was going to kind of play very tightly to what the rubric says and lean heavily on the 4 component of the 4+ penalty for a bump like the one that Jimmy Webster laid. But had kind of expected it to be 5 or 6. Well, on both accounts, my expectations were exceeded in this case, with Jimmy Webster being knocked out. Ooh, bad choice of words. Being penalised with a 7-week exclusion from the game. It's a big suspension. And so 7 weeks, this is the AFL website, as you can see, I've kind of got projected at the moment. The bump was a very hefty one, as we've seen already. I can't show the video because we'll get demonetized and all those sorts of things. We can't. There's all sorts of copyright and those sort of things that we can't share. We've tried this once and it didn't work for us, so I had to reshoot. And you got the wonderful video you got last time. Interestingly, and I doubt there's a theatrical component to it at all, but very, very interestingly, Jimmy Webster will be available for selection in round 8 when they play, you guessed it, North Melbourne again. So will players be gunning for him? What will the crowd be like? What will Alistair Clarkson be like, who's had some choice words to say in the last few days? And this time when they play, he'll be back to being the head coach once again, rather than kind of playing second fiddle like he did in that practice match. There's a lot of theatre to this situation, and while I doubt that played zero part in the decision to make it 7 weeks, it certainly adds a fascinating layer to the texture of this particular story. I'm thrilled that he got 7 weeks. We obviously understand that he's remorseful, but at the end of the day, he performed a stupid act, and there's no way to justify your way out of it. And so he needs to pay a price. He is paying a price, a well-deserved price, and that rubs him out specifically. And I guess I tried to avoid this too much when we were talking about the video before, but we are, of course, a Geelong-focused channel, and that means that he's out of round 1 against the Cats. That was never going to be in doubt, but he's out of round 1 against the Cats, and deservedly so. It's obviously an advantage for the Cats. We're not going to complain with one of their starting 23 players missing the cut. And as the AFL site here kind of highlights, it's a fascinating one in the sense that it is the biggest ban since the Andrew Gaff punch on Andrew Brayshaw, which resulted in 8 games. I'd be really curious with everything that's kind of changed. I know it's only been 6 years since that punch. I'd be really, really, really curious to know if that happened in 2024, what that penalty would be, because this was, you could at least still justify it was a footy act. It was a badly executed and timed and performed footy act. But a punch isn't, and it was a punch to the face. So I'm really curious, I guess, with the backdrop of all that's gone on, what the penalty would be for Andrew Gaff's punch if that happened this year. I feel like that'd be 12, based on how things are going. But in the meantime, this paints a really clear picture for the precedence of acts like this in 2024 and beyond. And if there's any player in the competition that thinks that they can get away with this is proof positive that you won't. You just won't get away with it. So hopefully Jimmy Webster learns from this. Hopefully every other player in the competition learns from this. Hopefully, more importantly than anything else, that Jai Simpkin is okay. It's been a couple of days now. We know that he was pretty dazed off the back of it, unsurprisingly. Hopefully the damage is minimal, but we are, of course, talking about a guy who has been concussed 3 times since the beginning of the 2023 AFL season, and that's a worry as well. We've obviously seen what's happened with the Brayshaw family of late, to speak of Brayshaws, I guess. It's a worry, and I just hope that he's okay. I hope that they take a long time to get him right. You can see here, like, he's just, Simpkin's not in a good way, so hopefully he's all right. Hopefully the 12 days is all it takes, but with 3 concussions in the space of the last 12-ish months or so, hopefully they are very, very cautious and that he is up and running soon. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Cats fans, we are now days away from round one. Make sure you tune into all of the amazing content that is on the Hoops crew at the moment. We've got interviews with Jed Buse. We've got Don't Forget Your Tips with Rach Danderfield. We've got the Chatting Cats. We've got our full season launch that's going live on Friday. A whole bunch of cool stuff that is only found on our YouTube channel. So go check all of that out. Check out the Patreon in the show notes there, where you can subscribe and get early access to a whole bunch of stuff. There's going to be exclusives. There's a whole range of cool things. This is going to be a huge year for the Hoops crew, and hopefully the Cats as well. So, remain Geelong strong, go Cats, and I'll see you later.